from a risk management point of view, you put mitigations in place to try and cover yourself against these kind of failures. In business, you have to be able to identify areas that are mission critical and make sure that you protect the business. Access control. You have to embrace a posture as a business where you trust no one.
Today we are here at the CISO Banquet. We are joined by Dr. Nkosi Kumalo. Dr. Nkosi Kumalo, if you can just tell our audience what is your role at MTN, but I know that you have just presented about the findings of the CISO survey that was recently held. If you can just tell our viewers what is your role at MTN.
Yeah, I work for MTN Business, and my role there is to obviously develop ICT products. As you know, traditionally, we are a mobile operator, and we have just embraced and ICT services which run on top of our network, making sure that we are obviously transitioning from a telecoms provider to a technology provider organization. And so that's where I am, and I think that transformation is predominantly accelerated in the MTN business.
Awesome. And I was listening to your presentation. I don't know if you'll be able to answer that, but one thing that just caught my mind was that you mentioned something about IT sabotage, which is first thing that was reported in this year's findings. If you can just maybe tell us what is IT sabotage and
Yeah, look, so the respondents that were polled this year, 2024, for the first time, because this is not the first time this survey was done, for the first time in 2024, we saw IT sabotage coming up as one of the incidents that are reported in the last 12 months by the respondents. So I found it quite interesting that now, 6% of the respondents are reporting it as something that has obviously, started to raise its head. And in essence, IT sabotage is a human facilitated incident. Internal staff members or contractors passing by a server environment, pulling out the plug. It's as simple as that.
Why?
I cannot put it. It's basically spiteful activities. It's sabotage. In essence, that's what it is. And people have different reasons why they do that. But in essence, it does happen.
But is there something that companies can do?
Of course, and that's why we talk about making sure that from a risk management point of view, you put mitigations in place to try and cover yourself against these kind of failures. In business, you have to be able to identify areas that are mission critical and make sure that you protect the business. Access control. You have to embrace a posture as a business where you trust no one.
Yes.
Right? And I'll tell you a simple example that basically leads to these kind of things. Gentlemen are supposed to obviously uphold the decorum of a gentleman.
Yeah.
You come to the office, you've got your access card, and you open the door. The next person who's following you, you allow them to come in. They don't have a card. Sometimes you don't know this person.
Yes.
And then they get access into mission critical areas of your business, and they do what they do, and then they leave the same way. So these are the things that organizations have to really make employees aware that sometimes being nice could lead the organization to being compromised. So you have to really try and drive awareness around these kind of things. That's why they call it a zero trust method of protecting the organization against the risk. Trust no one.
Awesome. You mentioned zero trust as well, like when we were presenting. I think like it's an awesome strategy to take to mitigate against those things from happening.
Yeah.
Anything else, Dr. Nkosi, like from the research, like any other outstanding thing that you can share with our viewers?
Yeah, look, I think one of the things I think that we're really quite, standing out again in this survey for this year was the fact that cybersecurity is always IT's problem generally. And one of the questions that were asked to the respondents was, is cyber a board priority in your organization?
Yeah.
And the respondents, 14% of them said it was made a priority after we were hacked.
Boy, there.
Now you can understand that, did it have to go through organization going through pain for this to be elevated at a board level? Knowing that South Africa today is, in fact, one of the highest targeted countries. I think it's ranking top 3 in the world in terms of the attacks from a cyber density point of view. And when you look at other research, you see that we are ranking 6th. So depending on what you look at, but in fact, we are ranking high. So it's quite important that business really elevate the risk around cyber and make sure that it's part of the board, and we have to enforce compliance around that.
Thank you so much,